Morning. So I read this story, I feel like a few months ago. I don't remember if it was in a book or just another coach I had saw posted it, but I thought it was pretty interesting. So this guy goes to the beach, and when he gets there, it's so crowded. There's so many people. He's having trouble finding a spot. Everybody's jockeying for the best position, and he's just frustrated. But he finally finds this like little tiny spot surrounded by people, and he sits down, and he looks at the other people, and he's like, "Oh my God, this beach is so crowded." And they're like, "Yeah, but we've got sand, we've got water. Like, no big deal." He goes, "Just deal with it." So he's laying down for a few minutes and he looks out in the water. And about 30 yards out, he sees a bunch of people like just drinking, throwing a ball around, listening to music, dancing. And he's like, "How are those people doing that out there? What's going on?" And he looks over and they all start waving him, "Come on, come on." And he's like, "What?" So he looks at the people next to him. He goes, "Do you know what those people out there are doing?" And they go, "I have no idea." He goes, "But just stay here." He goes, "We have the same sand and water." He goes, "Yeah, but like they're having so much fun and it's not as crowded out there." He goes, "It's like so crowded here." They're like, "It's the same sand, it's the same water. And plus it's dangerous. Like if you swim there, it's a good 30 yards out. You can drown. Like it's kind of risky to go out there, right?" He's like, "Yeah, I guess so." And then he thinks about it for a little more. And he says, "Screw it, I'm going to try." So he jumps in the water and he swims like 30 yards out and he gets there and it's this giant sandbar with these people with their blankets, and there's like 20, 25 people out there and they're just hanging out having a blast. And he says to the guy, he goes, "How come nobody else comes out here?" He says, "Well, think about it." He goes, "It's just like life, right?" He goes, "It's a bit risky, right? You don't know what's out here. So why would somebody just swim 30 yards if they don't know where they're going, right?" He goes, "We like just got tired of the crowds and we're like, maybe there's a sandbar out there." So we just jumped in and we said, let's see if we can find something. And we found this beautiful, beautiful place. And, this is where we come every time we go to the beach." And he says, "I know, but it's just so crazy to me." And he said, "Well, listen, people don't like to take risk, right? They'd rather just stay on that mediocre beach over there, right? Instead of coming to this great one over here that we found." He goes, "So while all those people are kind of sitting there dealing with their mediocre sand or their mediocre water, we've got this almost private beach with the same sand and water." He goes, "It's just about willing to kind of step outside your comfort zone and take a risk, right? And see what else is out there." And that's how we are in life, right? If we don't take risks, if we're not taking those small steps that we need to possibly propel us forward, right, towards what we want, we never get what we want. So usually the reward that comes with risk is far greater than the failure that comes with risk. I mean, yes, I guess there's extreme cases. If you do something dangerous, you could get hurt. But I think those aren't the risks we're talking about. And though this might have been swimming out to a sandbar, I think the analogy stands for itself, right? If there's something you want, you've got to be willing to step out your comfort zone. You've got to be willing to take a risk and know that the reward on the other side is probably far greater than the procrastination or the unwillingness to take that risk for fear of what may happen, because fear always holds us back from getting what we want. So think about it. How many times have you wanted something and you didn't get it and you regretted it, right? That's the other thing. I've spoken about this before. There's nothing worse than regret. Failure is way easier to swallow than regret. Take those risks. Take those risks that propel you to where you want to be, and have an awesome day.